Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're going to be talking about living the best life or living the life that you want, as I am joined by author and speaker, Lise Janelle. Lise has 22 years of experience of being a peak performance and results expert, and she helps people who are determined to live their best lives. So we're going to be talking to her about her method, her book, everything that she's up to and gonna be up to. So, Dr. Janelle, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with people. I love doing this.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Um, I can tell you so many stories, but I will start with my background. I was a holistic chiropractor, and very early on, I discovered that I could have 10 patients with similar low back condition. For example, 8 of them would get better, but 2 of them would be stuck. So I went on a quest to find different methods, and I discovered some mind body work that allowed me to find very quickly in 5-10 minutes where emotions, beliefs could be stuck in the body, preventing my patients from living their best lives. And in 1988, I was a successful chiropractor. I was a Canadian rowing champion with Canada and all that stuff, but still I was feeling empty inside. But all of a sudden, 3 weeks before my sister's wedding, my father was diagnosed with terminal cancer and he was given 9 months to live. A week after my sister's wedding, my 21-year-old brother died in a car accident. And within a month of all this, my 8-year relationship to the man I thought I was going to marry ended. And it was like, ow, ow, ow. So it sent me on the quest to understand what does it take to live a great life, because it's not if these things are going to happen. When they happen, how do you use them to your advantage? How do you keep learning, growing, expanding? So it led me to do a lot more mind body work and also discover the power of gratitude. So I ended up creating a mind body method called the Heart Freedom Method. And in 2003, I was standing behind my patients and I started crying. Not because I was not successful. I was top 10% earner chiropractors in Canada. My patients love me. I work 25 hours a week. I took 10, 12 weeks off a year. But in my heart, I knew that I had, something else calling me to do this, because in 1989, I had taken a seminar and I wrote a statement of purpose for my life. And the career part said I was going to help transform the life of 1 million people through maximizing their life potential. So every day of my life since 1989, I was focused on that. And in 2003, I realized if I kept being a chiropractor, I was not going to be able to do that. So I pinched my nose and became a full time coach. Through the law of attractions, I challenged myself and attracted Jack Canfield, the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And he's asked me to write a book about my work because he says it's the missing link he'd been looking for in 50 years of doing transformational work. This is my story in a nutshell.
Oh,
Part of my stories.
absolutely. Well, kind of talk more about your mind body program that you have created and what it does to help your clients.
Yeah, most people, and I'm so passionate about this, and that's why I'm grateful that you asked me to to speak with you and to your audience is that a lot of people have no idea. Like they might have read the book, a classic Think and Grow Rich or The Secret or The Millionaire Mind and all these things. So they understand that it's important to have clarity around what they want to create. So consciously they know that. But most people don't understand there's a missing piece to that. And the missing piece is the subconscious mind. And relatively speaking, your conscious mind that wants something is the size of a football. And your subconscious mind that's there to keep you alive, the football field. So if your subconscious mind has associated more pain than pleasure, more danger than safety to something you want, it's going to hold you back. It's going to quote, sabotage you. It's not there to sabotage you. It's just there to keep you safe. So, okay, now you know that your subconscious mind could be working for you or against you, but what do you do with it? So you need to have a method that you can learn, that you can master, that then becomes, an ace in your back pocket. So for those of you who are driven to live an amazing life, I can guarantee you that unless you start paying attention to this part of your being, you won't be able to win the game of life. Uh, it's it's so powerful. Like I'll give you an example. It's an extreme example, but it fits like whether you're an athlete, an entrepreneur, or just someone really driven. Like I had this Olympic level skier. She came to see me because she had not placed in 2 years. So doing the mind body work, I tested her and I'm ready, willing, and able to win, to go on the podium. And lo and behold, we found like it takes literally 10 minutes. We went back to when she was 7 years old. At 7 years old, she was already winning more than her brothers. And her mother, not to make her brothers feel poorly, was hiding her medals and her trophy. So now she had started to associate, oh, when I win, I make people feel poorly. And worse, you end up alone. People dislike you. And now, at the competitive level, your teammates and your competitors even, they can feel like siblings. And when the Pavlovian bell rings, all of a sudden you're not consciously understanding that subconsciously you are scared of winning because you don't want to make other people feel poorly. Anyway, we had 2 sessions. We found different stories, but that was one of the stories. And she ended up on the podium right after. And she said her coach took note that after seeing me, she got a lot luckier. She went from being ranked 31st in the world to retiring third in the world a few years later. So it's super important because if you are working, in a business, you're an entrepreneur and you're dedicated, just like an Olympic level skier, obviously consciously she wanted to win. Otherwise, you don't do all this work, do all this training, and have no social life or nothing. So consciously, for sure, she wanted to win, but her subconscious mind was not in line with what she wanted consciously. And so as an entrepreneur, it's the same thing. You may have a great business idea, you may have good ideas and a big work ethic, but all of a sudden it's just not working. And there are 3 clues that you have a subconscious belief working against you. The first one is you know what needs to be done, but you're not doing it. The famous procrastination. And that one is challenging on driven people because you're driven, you've taken the courses, you listen to Tony Robbins and all those things, and you're not doing the stuff that you should be doing. So now you start getting upset with yourself. On top of not doing what needs to be done, now you're upset with yourself, which just makes it even worse. So I'm here to tell you that it's not because you lack discipline, it's not because you lack willpower, it's because your subconscious believe that it's going to be too dangerous for you to get that goal that you're after. The second one is you do what needs to be done, but it takes you so much more energy. Why? Because, the size of a football, the conscious part that wants something versus the subconscious part that is the football field, you're fighting against that. So a report, instead of taking you an hour, it takes 3 hours. And if you want to create a business, instead of taking you, 3 years, it takes you 5 years. Why? Because you're constantly working against this force that's holding you back. And you won't know. It's like, it's so interesting. Like, I'll share a personal story. Like, um, my book's going to come out with Jack Canfield pretty soon. And at the beginning of the year, for some reason, I couldn't sleep well anymore. I couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't stay asleep. I was sleeping like 4.5 hours a night. It was like, ugh. I'm thinking, what's going on? Is it my food? Is it my hormone? What's going on? So finally, the light bulb moment came on, and I did the heart freedom method, the method that I created. And lo and behold, we went back to when I was born, because I don't know why they did this to my mom and me, but they put my mom asleep. And I got stuck in there. And I remember, like, you can actually feel and remember what it feels like. I'm stuck in there and I think I'm going to die. So my subconscious mind had associated going from one state of being to another state of being with death. So even though consciously I really wanted this book, to be published, my subconscious mind believed that I was going to die because I was going from my regular life to having a book in the world, hopefully touching at least 1 million people. And so I did the heart freedom method on it. Took me 15 minutes, and now I'm sleeping like a baby. So I'm taking the time to share this story because you have no idea, and there's no connection. Like, how would I, in a million years, discover this without having a tool? The third clue that you have a subconscious belief working against you is you do everything right, but you get the opposite result. You buy this course, you get a coach, you read these books, you listen to all the recordings, you do everything right, but instead you get the opposite results, a bit like my Olympic level skier. So those are three clues that you absolutely need to learn about your subconscious mind, but also get a tool so that you can win the game of your life.
Well, talk about who who your mind body program that you created is for. What kind of individuals will your program help?
Um, People who are driven, people who want to live a great life. Like, I love working with entrepreneurs. I love working with athletes. I have different programs. Like, I have one-on-one coaching. I have an elite coaching program with me. People can coach with me. But I also have trained coaches, so people can work with a coach. I have online programs where people can learn how to do the heart freedom method for themselves or with a coach. So, like, I have different program that people can explore. But the people who benefit from this, these are the people who are driven to live a great life. People with responsibilities, people when the going gets tough, they feel it's on their shoulders. So I really love working with driven people because usually driven people have self-awareness. So I can come along and tweak things, and then voila, there's a huge, benefits to getting to the root of the subconscious belief that had been working against you. I also love, love, love working with couples, getting them to find, like, people who are single. I can The reason people are single, even though they profess that they want a relationship, is usually because they're afraid of love, of losing their freedom, of being hurt again. Or I love helping couples who want to avoid a divorce, very costly divorce. It's amazing what you can do in 1 hour and help a client, reconnect with their partner.
Well, talk to the listeners about your book. I know it's coming out here pretty soon. Tell us where we can get it and what we can expect when we read it and what it was like to co-author a book with Jack Canfield.
Let's take a quick break. Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.
Well, I have actually two books, like one that is already out. It's called Conversation with the Heart, which is a great book, but it's about what it takes to consciously create a successful life. So the book I'm writing finished. I'm going to have a meeting with Jack on Wednesday next week. It's called Unstuck. And it's for people who want to learn the method. So there's a book and you'll be able to learn the 10, it's just 10 steps that you do. And you free yourself each time that you feel the inner resistance. Like most people who are driven have an awareness of when it feels all in alignment and when it feels like something is holding you back. So the book will give you access to learning the method. Some people, they can read the book and they'll be able to do the method not themselves. But if you want to go deeper, I highly recommend the online program because I teach people how to use the method like for their career so that, you want an advancement, you want to do sales, you want to break through your quota, your business. If you want, with finances, it's so amazing how often we just hold ourselves back because of beliefs of self-worth or that money is evil or whatever. And when it comes to weight and cravings and health, like pain, if you have headaches all the time or low back pain, those type of things, often they're connected to stored emotion in the body. Today I did a session for a cricket coach, and he had pain in his jaw joint, his TMJ, and we just spent half an hour together, and we were able to find the stories that were holding him back, and he felt like it was healing. So you can learn how to do it for each area of life, and you get 2 monthly group coaching calls with me, so you can ask me questions and I put people through the method, and each time you show up on the call, I do it with you so that you can really become confident and comfortable in doing the method. You can also do it with one of my coaches. So you prefer, you can have 6 sessions with one of my coaches that will make you feel, okay, I got training wheels. You can learn with the coach, one-on-one with the coach, and then, become really confident. I'm really happy. Like I have people that I train, coaches that have been trained in my method. And one of them, she has little kids. And when she was 4 years old, she told her mom, when we were in the car, I had car sickness, so I did the heart freedom method, and it went back to when I was a little kid and I was eating in my high chair. So a 4 years old is able to do it, so I know adults can do it also. So it's a lot of fun. I'm inspired because when people are driven and they want to live a great life and they try once and it's not getting them what they want, twice, 3 times, 4 times, people get depressed after a while. They start feeling that they're unlucky and that they're just not meant to have what they want. And I can guarantee you, if you have a real deep desire from your heart, not your ego, not your emotions, but from your heart, and you're willing to do the work, you're courageous, you take actions, and when you see one of those 3 clues popping up, procrastination, being too hard, or getting the opposite results, you just sit down, do the method, free yourself, and now you're unlocked. some more of your potential. That's how you can move forward and get ahead with the ultimate game of life, which I call creating heaven on earth.
What tell us about any upcoming projects that you're working on that listeners need to be aware of?
Right now, the book is for sure my biggest focus. Jack, who's masterful with stories, editing the stories. The book is written mainly, and we need to find because of him, we can find a book agent. It's going to be fairly easy. We just have to decide how we want to publish it. I have on September 21st and 22nd for anybody who's interested in having a huge transformation. It's an intense 2 days where you transform your life and give you tools that empowers you, and you can write a statement of purpose for your life that becomes your guiding light. It's called Extreme Freedom. So anybody who wants to be really certain about creating something from their heart, not from their head, not their emotions, not their ego, but something that really matters to them. It's in 2 days you do 2 years worth of growth. It's powerful. It's if you want to gain time and not waste your time in tangents that are not giving you this fulfillment that you want, I can highly recommend this one.
Well, so listeners can keep up with everything that you're up to and get that book when it comes out. Throw out your contact info.
Contact info is info at drlisejanelle.com. And if you want to speak to someone about any of these things and see what is best for you, you can write to Greg at drlisejanelle.com. And I can also give you something that's pretty good as a tool to help you move forward. It's to create a strong inner self. It's called Best Friend Journal. So if you go bestfriendjournal.com, it's a 30-day challenge that would allow you to create an inner voice that will be solid for you and help you to, gain confidence in any situation you feel.
All right, we'll close us out with some final thoughts. Maybe if that was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Yes, when you face a challenge, it's not because something is wrong with you, because everybody faces challenge. So when you face a challenge, it's okay to feel sorry for yourself. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, suck your thumb, feel sorry for yourself, and then take a deep breath in and ask yourself, since I'm worthy of love, how am I going to use this challenge to my advantage? Because the only difference between someone who lives an ordinary life and an extraordinary life is the ability they have to use everything that comes their way to their advantage, to grow stronger, more competent, and more successful.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Be sure to pick up Dr. Janelle's book, co-authored with Jack Canfield. Follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Check out her Mind Body program. If you know somebody that can use her services, please have them contact her. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform and visit www.curveball337.com for more information on the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying the show. And Dr. Janelle, thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye for now.
For more information on the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, visit www.curveball337.com. Until next time, keep living the dream.